Now, it's time for Spotlight on Business, where every week we put the spotlight on a different local business so you can find out how they serve you and the community. Now from Michiana's Morning News, it's Laura Smith.
Welcome to the Merchant Alliance Show. And this time we are going to talk about, all things yoga. And that's with a wonderful friend of downtown Elkhart. And by the way, if you want to know anything at downtown Elkhart, you go to dodowntownelkhart.com. And that shows you not only all the things to do at night and all the restaurants to go to, but all the wonderful businesses that pepper our main street there and really keep people from Elkhart and beyond satisfied. But today, Leica Earthkeeper is here. She is the owner and founder of the Yoga Realm right on Main Street in that beautiful historic building. Leica, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Laura, for having me.
I love that building. And when I first moved here 5 years ago, I went into, it was then called the Awakening Realm. And I went in, you had like an open house or something. And I just loved it. I just thought it was beautiful. So that was back in 2020, like COVID time. And I was so grateful because I had come from New York and nothing was open. So I was very happy that that was there. But what a beautiful store. And tell us all about the wonderful classes and sessions that you offer. And it's not just yoga, but that's a lot of it.
Yeah. And even just yoga, there's a lot of misconceptions. It's not just for physical health. It's for mental health and emotional health. But yeah, we have many different offerings other than just yoga. We are a nationally accredited yoga school, so we train yoga teachers. And we have Yoga Alliance certified teachers. So everyone that you learn from there is certified and knowledgeable. So that's very important. But yeah, physical health, mental health, emotional health. We also do somatic yoga for trauma. So people who have experienced trauma. So this is very healing. We do massage, we have an infrared sauna, we do Reiki, tarot, astrology, and shamanic services. We have the best prices in Michiana, in the Michiana area. We try to stay very comparable,
Sure.
on the low end, because we know that groceries are important these days for families. And so we want to make sure that they can get yoga, and yoga's not just a luxury.
Absolutely. Oh, I think that's just beautiful. And so many different modalities of what people can do there. But I'm very interested that the yoga is that high level so people know when they go in. I am a person that has wanted to do yoga and be good about doing it all the time for probably 25 years now. And I have yet to commit myself because it feels like it is a commitment. Mm-hmm. But I probably should just start, even without the commitment, just to experience it, because I know how good it is for you mentally and emotionally, like you said. And of course, trying to get fit, it's wonderful. Everybody I know that does yoga looks fabulous.
Well, that's amazing. I always say the physical comes, it comes, but I've always done it for more. Ancient yogis, the main focus was everything precipitates from the mind. And so when we think about something, we expand it energetically and physically in our bodies. And so if we're constantly looping in the mind, the body is going to be rigid, the body will become tight. And so I started doing it for my own emotional and mental health. And then the physical came and I was like, oh, well, this is a nice little attribute.
But again, it also, there's so much stretching involved, which the older you get, you really start to appreciate how important that is, because it is. You never think that you're going to change. You always feel like you're going to be 25 forever. But then, your body does start to change. And I just know that yoga, that is the one thing that it kind of reminds your body that you can still do things, like you did when you were younger. That's when I've taken it. That's what I've noticed.
Range of motion, flexibility, balance. I've talked to people, as we get older, getting in and out of bathtubs or showers and things can be, like the Olympics in a way, and how can we make sure that our body gets us there safely, and it increases your body awareness, where your body is at in space. So it's really good for people who do sports and things like that. And it prevents injury. So,
yes.
Yeah.
There are varying levels, obviously, that people do. I think maybe one of the last yoga classes I took was a hot yoga. And I have to say that was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I probably got through maybe 5 minutes of it without having just to lay down because I just couldn't basically take the heat at the time. But I think obviously you must get used to it or something. Do you do hot yoga?
We do offer hot yoga, and I would say that some of these other studios out in the area, they do push the temperature. We keep ours between 91 and 100. We don't exceed the 100 mark just because safety is a value to us. And we know that our culture is very based upon pushing ourselves and overexerting ourselves. And so we try to be mindful and make sure that everyone is being safe.
Yeah, that's great. Because for a while there, I thought, oh my gosh, I honestly don't know if I can get up off of the floor. It was so hot, but that's good to know because this was in New York a long time ago and it was just kind of really over the top. I think it was over 100 degrees in there. But anyway, there's so many different types of levels of classes. So what are some of the varying degrees of the yoga that you do?
And that's something that I wanted to say, that all are welcome, all shapes and sizes and ages, that we even offer a chair yoga class on Wednesdays at 3:30.
Really?
So you can start yoga in a chair.
I love that.
Yeah.
But that's good though, right? Because you have to start somewhere, but it's not. Sometimes I think like people can feel intimidated by yoga because you'll be in a class, perhaps seeing someone that's much more advanced than you, and you feel just like a little bit like I'll never be able to get like that, or but that's silly, I know, because yoga itself is such a beautiful practice of acceptance, self-acceptance, acceptance of others. So, and the atmosphere. And I noticed that when I went to your place, it's just a beautiful, peaceful, calm, wonderful, just vibration of just just peace, basically. And I just think that's so nice. It's so rare these days to find someplace that has that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a high compliment to me because it's very important to me that we bring more peace into this crazy, chaotic world, as well as everyone feels comfortable and welcome. Because I think with television and advertisements and stuff, there's a lot of misconceptions around yoga. And a lot of people see that and they think, oh, I can't do that. Well, our job at the Realm is to show you and empower you in what you can do. And we always make sure that that's our main focus so that when people leave, they're like, huh, I did that. I've had women in their 60s and 70s get into a headstand, and that's empowering.
Yeah, that's scary, trying to think about doing that. No, but it is. And you're right, that the balance thing is so important. And, I think you really need instruction. If you don't know how to do it, it's not just like you're, say, doing a push-up or a sit-up. I mean, there's technique to yoga. So are you the type of teacher, or do your teachers go around and to each mat and kind of help people to make sure that they're aligned the way they're supposed to be?
Yes, we do have little coasters that they can kind of decide if they want adjustments or not. And they can turn it up on the green side if they're okay with physical touch and adjustments. And they can turn it on the red side if they don't want that day. And some days you want it and some days you don't. For me, even personally. So, everyone has a little coaster, and we try to help people with their alignment and technique. And
that's fantastic. So when was the first time that you did yoga?
Oh, wow. 2012. It changed. I took one yoga class and I sat up and I said, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. If I could feel this rejuvenated, if I can make one person feel as rejuvenated as I feel right now, this is what I need to do.
That's incredible. So, yeah. And at this, are you a yogi master at this point?
I'm an experienced 500 hour.
Experienced 500 hour.
Yeah, you have to teach over 1,000 hours to get the experienced in your credentials. But I've reached over 4,000 hours of teaching.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. That is so good. And so how did you end up here in Elkhart? Because I find it fascinating a little bit, like, especially when I used to fly out to California, everybody did yoga. Everybody, I mean, just literally everybody you knew did yoga. But New York, not so much. People are busy running, commuting into the office and things like that. But here in Elkhart, I really didn't expect to find, too many people that were into it and understood it and were actually practicing it. It had a place where you could do it.
Which makes hard for business when, people don't know about it or, are open to it. But even more the reason to be the light and be in those places. I felt compelled. I mean, there's times where I'm like, oh man, we could be, busting at the seams in Chicago or California. But that's even more the reason we need to be in this place.
Absolutely. And so how are people finding you?
We have a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
We have an Instagram. We have our website. It's hard to walk the yogi path and still have the foot here in the material world.
Yes.
As a business owner, that is a balance for sure.
And I would love to talk a little bit about that because I'm very interested in sort of the guiding spiritual principles behind yoga. I just think that is something so unique and so beautiful. And like you said, there are so many misconceptions around it. I would love to hear straight from somebody with 4,000 hours of experience in doing it and teaching it. But once again, my guest is Leica Earthkeeper, and she is the proprietor, the owner and founder of the Yoga Realm, which is on Main Street, that beautiful, it used to be called, was it the Waterworks?
The Waterworks.
I love that. It's one of those iconic buildings in downtown Elkhart that has stayed here for all these years. Do you know when that building was built?
I want to say 1800s, but
I would imagine that's the very good likelihood. But it's right there on Main Street and North Main Street. Or is it South Main Street. Anything after East Jackson, because I know that because I live around there, and anything south of East Jackson is South Main Street. It's down there, near the Vine, near Stevenson's, near all the stores that you know and love in Elkhart. And this is the Merchant Alliance show, and we love to highlight all the wonderful businesses and places to go and places to eat in downtown Elkhart. We really are fortunate. We have this beautiful city with a heart where you can do just about anything and find anything that's on your heart. We'll be talking more with Leica Earthkeeper when we come back. I'm Laura Smith.
Podcasts by Federated Media.